Hello students, welcome to practical number 6 and 7, that is open PC panel and identify components. So before going inside the panel, let us go through the external view of the PC cabinet. So these are the various cabinets designs available in the market, and every PC cabinet is having some front view like this, in which there are some common things. That is, every cabinet is having some on-off switch. Okay, you can see this arrow here, there is an on-off switch. In this panel this is on-off switch, and on this cabinet this is on-off switch. Here this is the on-off switch. Then there are certain USB ports available on the front side. So here in this cabinet 4 USB ports are available. Here also some USB ports are available. Here also USB port is available, and here also USB port is available. Then there are some audio ports, that is speaker out and mic in. So here these are 2 audio ports, here these are the 2 audio ports, here also 2 audio ports, and here these are the 2 audio ports. So like this, here one more drive is there, that is a DVD drive. You can insert the DVD to play the DVD through this DVD drive. So here this DVD drive player is available here on these 2 cabinets, and in this leftmost cabinet and rightmost cabinet the DVD drive is not available. So if it is installed, it is available. If it is not installed, it may not be available. So like this, these are the common things available in the front panel of every PC cabinet. Now let us go for cabinet's rear panel. So here you can view that in the previous view we have observed this front panel, and now the same cabinet is having the back panel like this. On the back panel, so this circle indicates the SMPS fan. The SMPS, that is the switch mode power supply, is inside, and it is generating certain heat, and that will be exhausted through this exhaust fan. Besides this, there is the connector for mains AC supply, and that is the power socket through which we can connect the power cable and provide the AC supply to this SMPS. Then below this there are some ports. First 2 ports, that is the green and this violet ports, are called as PS2 ports, and these are used to connect a mouse and keyboard. PS2 type of mouse and keyboards are connected here. And besides this, here there are some USB ports, that is universal serial bus ports. So here you can view there are multiple 6 USB ports are available. Then besides this USB port, here there is a network port or the LAN port or the NIC port. Here you can connect the RJ45 connector to connect this particular PC in a network. Below this, these are the audio ports, and here you can get the output for the speaker or get the input for the mic. Then here this blue color port is called as a VGA port. You can connect the monitor or your display through this VGA port to the PC. Then here this whole circular area is there, which is also the exhaust fan, and this is cooling fan. Inside this cabinet there are many electronic boards and circuits. Those are generating heat, and this heat can be exhausted through this cooling fan. So this is about various ports available backside, that is called as a rear panel of the PC. Now let us go inside. So this is the inside view of the PC cabinet, and you can view there are many cables, wires and electronic circuit boards, etc., etc. So what are these? Let us see one by one. So first is these internal components are separated. First is this motherboard, big board or the main circuit board is there, to which other small circuit boards, secondary boards or drives are connected. So here there is the power supply which is available inside the cabinet, that is SMPS. Then DVD writer is there or DVD drive is there. then hard disk drive is there, then video card may be available, then CPU, that is this white area, square area here, your CPU or the processor of the computer is mounted, and over this CPU or the processor there is a fan, CPU fan, and the heat sink is available for exhausting heat. Then this is the memory area where the RAM or the memory card is inserted. So let us see one by one all these components. The first is motherboard. This is the block diagram of motherboard. Here this is the main area where this is CPU socket is there, where the CPU or the processor like i3 processor, i5 processor or i7 processor, various processors, AMD processors, these are mounted here, and over this there is a heat sink and the cooling fan. Then here this is the area where this is the RAM slots are there, where a RAM, that is a random access memory cards, are mounted or inserted. This the configuration may be different, that is DDR1 or DDR2 type of RAMs are installed. Then here there is IDE, that is or the SATA connectors are there, where the hard disk and DVD drives are connected through their flat cables. Then here there are some ports which we have seen, that is the rear panel of the PC cabinet. They are coming from this motherboard, that is this is audio port, USB port, LAN port, VGA port, parallel port, then main supply port, etc. So all these are there available. Now here this is the battery, where it is the CMOS battery which provide the supply to the ROM, that is a ROM BIOS, all these things. So these are the slots for the PCI cards. So external or add-on cards can be connected to this motherboard on this particular PCI slots. Here this is a connector for FDD, that is floppy disk drives, which are now not used, but in earlier days the floppy disk drives were there, and that can be connected through this particular socket. So these are the few connectors available on the motherboard. Let us see actual motherboard. So this is one sample motherboard, actual the image of actual motherboard. Now here this is the processor, that is called as a CPU, central processing unit, is mounted here. Then this is the area where the ports are there, that is your serial port, parallel port, PS2 ports, VGA port, audio ports, USB ports, etc. Then these are the three white color slots are there. These are called as PCI card slots, where add-on cards can be inserted. Then here this is the ROM BIOS. This is a chip, that is a ROM read-only memory, and basic input-output system, that is available here. And the power supply is given to this ROM BIOS through this BIOS battery or the CMOS battery. Here this blue color is HDD SATA slots, and here or the IDE slots are there, where DVD or the hard disk drives can be connected. Here these black color slots are there for RAM slots, where the random access memory slots can be connected, that may be 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB or 1 GB, etc. Here the processor, it may be i3, i7, etc. Now let us go in detail again. This is the processor, one component on the motherboard. You can see this is the actual image or the view of processor, how processor looks like. This is one form of IC, that is integrated circuit in square format. These are the golden pins available, and this chip is inserted here in this particular socket, and it is mounted using this lever, and it is fixed. So it looks like this. It may be Core i5, Core i3 or Core i7 processors. So these are the processors, and these are center part of the motherboard, and that's why it is central processing unit, and all types of processing inside the computer is done by this particular component. Then every CPU is generating certain heat and temperature. Due to the high temperature, the CPU chip may get damaged, and for that cooling is required, and this cooling is provided through this mechanism. You can see these aluminum foils are there, which is called as heat sink, which absorbs the heat generated by the CPU or the processor, and it dissipates this heat, and this dissipated heat is exhausted through this cooling or exhaust fan, and it is mounted on the top of this particular processor on the motherboard. So like this, due to this cooling fan and heatsink, this temperature will maintain constant and the CPU will be protected from the increase in temperature. Then this is the area where RAM is mounted. The RAM cards are looking like this. So here there are 2 cards of RAM. Maximum 2 cards can be inserted here, and one card size may be of 1 GB or 2 GB or 4 GB also. And like this, there are dual cards. 1 plus 1 2 GB will be there. If you insert 2 GB cards, there will be 4 GB, and if you insert 4 GB cards, then 4 plus 8 GB can be added. So like this, these are the random access memory cards, that is a RAM card, which are inserted or mounted on the motherboard. Then ROM BIOS. This is another type of memory, which is the permanent memory, where your basic input output system is recorded or programmed, and when you start your computer, initially this particular program, that is the BIOS program, runs, and it checks all the circuits or devices connected to this motherboard, whether they are working, whether they are getting supply, and all these things checkup is done by this program. It is available permanently on this particular chip known as ROM BIOS chip, and whenever the supply goes off, the supply is provided through this particular battery, which is besides this ROM BIOS, this is CMOS battery. So there is ROM BIOS. This is a zoom view of this ROM BIOS. You can view, yes, AMI BIOS. This is one type of company. Here permanently it is soldered on this. You can view another view of this particular along with the battery also. Battery is always besides this ROM BIOS, and to provide the supply when you shut down your computer. The next is hard disk. So this is a hard disk drive. Externally the hard disk drive looks like this, and internally the hard disk drive looks like this. So here this particular hard disk drive is connected through this particular connector. Here this is connector where to which the motherboard is through motherboard the cable is connected here, and here the power supply is given through this particular socket. So there are 2 cables connected to this hard disk drive. One is the power socket, and another is your data cable socket. This is the internal view. This is the media, and this is the head, and this is the actuator which moves this plate. That is the media is plate. Platter is called as a platter, and it is a magnetic type of disk. Another type of hard disk drive can be there, that is called as SSD drive, that is solid state drive, and this is the view. Here also the power supply and the cable is connected to connect to the motherboard. Another drive is the DVD drive, that is digital versatile disk, that is a DVD. Externally the DVD drive looks like this. This is the view which you can observe on the front side of your cabinet. There is a eject button, and this is a tray which comes out like this, and this on this DVD tray you place your DVD like this, and here on the third figure the DVD is inserted, and now you can pull this tray inside and the DVD will start play. On the back side of this there are connectors, again one connector for providing power supply, one connector for connecting to the motherboard. Then this is the SMPS, that is switched mode power supply. The AC supply is provided to this particular socket, that is power supply socket. We already seen it in the rear panel of your PC. AC supply is provided, that is the mains AC supply, and it is converted into DC, and this output DC is coming through this particular power supply connectors. Here this output DC supply is plus minus 5 volt or plus minus 12 volt. So some circuit boards require plus minus 5 volts, some circuit boards requires plus minus 12 volts, and depending on that the 6 types of connectors are available, and they can be connected to motherboard, hard disk drive, floppy disk drive, or the DVD drive also. Then here also there is a cooling fan. 2 cooling fans are there. You can see this circular area where the heat is dissipated or exhausted outside this SMPS, and on off switch may be there to make it on or off. So this is the again one component available inside the PC panel. Then the ports on motherboard. So this is the external view of the port side view of the motherboard, and you can view here these are the PS2 connectors or the PS2 ports. This PS2, that is a keyboard, this violet color, here keyboard can be connected, here mouse can be connected. That is a PS2 mouse and PS2 keyboards only. Nowadays PS2 devices are not used, USB devices are used. Then there are USB ports. So here USB ports are there. Then this is a LAN connector or LAN port where you can connect RJ45 connector. These are the serial port, that is COM1, COM2 can be there or only one may be there. This is the parallel port where you can connect the parallel device like dot matrix printer. These are the audio ports, that is audio in, audio out and mic. And here this is a game port may be available, and like this here you can connect the monitor also. These are the PCI slots. Again, this is the picture of motherboard where PCI slots are there. So PCI slots are used for add-on cards, connecting add-on cards. So which are the various add-on cards that you can connect? VGA card, that is visual graphics array card. Video card, if you are working on videos then you will require video card. And network card, if the additional network card is required. Inbuilt network, some cards are available inbuilt on this motherboard, but some cards can be connected externally. Wi-Fi card, that is if you want to connect Wi-Fi network. Then sound card, if your PC work is based on some sound recording or some advanced sound programs or softwares, you will require sound card. HDMI card, again for connecting HDMI devices or the cable to the PC. So here like this add-on cards can be connected. So this is the area where PCI, these add-on cards are connected. These are called as PCI card slots. These are some example. The cards are there. One card is this is a leftmost card is a VGA card known as visual graphics array. Then this is a video card image. Then these are the Ethernet cards or the LAN cards or the network cards, NIC cards like this. It is having this one port card. This is 4 port cards. So multiple cards RJ45 connectors can be connected or single also. So in the market it comes with single port, dual port or quadra port. Then these are Wi-Fi network card. So here these are antenna, which is one antenna is used for transmission, another antenna is for receiving the signals. And nowadays the USB dongle is also coming. Instead of inserting add-on card on the PCI slot, you can connect directly this particular type of dongle to the USB connector and it will start transmitting and receiving Wi-Fi signals. This is a sound card where extra audio ports are there and which are used for the sound or audio studio purpose for recording or processing part of audios. HDMI cards, these are the HDMI ports. You can connect HDMI cables here for the advanced videos or displays. Nowadays your TV can be connected here through these HDMI cards. So HDMI means high definition multimedia interface. So these were the various components inside the PC. Thank you watching for this video on components inside the PC.